So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending this virtual press point. As we know, the numbers of COVID-19 infections in the EU continue to decline. As the latest risk assessment from the European Centre of Disease Prevention and Control have shown us, as of the 9th of June, the 14th day incidence in the EU overall has declined by 80% since the peak, which was on the 9th of April. It is clear, however, that this pandemic is not over and we are not yet out of the woods. Continued vigilance is a must, and we must be ready to roll back the relaxation of measures if needed. One of the lessons we have learned is that Europe needs to give a higher priority to health, including through increased investments in healthcare. And that is precisely why we are looking into the future. We will open a new chapter in EU health policy and funding with our EU4Health Programme. With a 2,000% increase in financial resources, it represents an opportunity to do something bigger, to make sure that what started as a health crisis becomes an opportunity for the health sector to lead in the recovery. EU4Health is about massively scaling up resources to be better prepared to react to crisis and protect our citizens. For the first time, we will create strategic stockpiles of protective equipment, of medicines and medical devices in times of crisis. We will have a reserve of healthcare staff, including flying doctors, that can be deployed wherever and whenever needed. EU4Health is also about ensuring that medicines and medical devices are available when needed at all times. And finally, it is about building up the resilience of health systems of tomorrow and making a real difference for important priorities such as the fight against cancer, the reduction of the number of antimicrobial resistant cases, and improving vaccination. So this is a program that concerns every single European citizen. I'm very pleased today that member states share our priorities and voice their support to this initiative. However, the real game changer for our future without COVID-19 will be a vaccine. This will be the only real exit strategy from the crisis. A vaccine that needs to be accessible to all in Europe and around the globe. No region in the world is safe unless we are all safe. And this is why next week we'll be presenting an EU strategy for COVID-19 vaccines. At times where the world is taking steps to get access to a future vaccine, the EU must show a united front in these global efforts. And time is of essence. We are in a situation of a public health emergency. We have to act fast and we have to invest upfront in vaccine development to ensure that vaccines are being produced at the scale required as early as possible. This is why we propose a common EU approach to securing vaccine supplies for all member states. This will avoid competition between us and offer vaccine producers a simplified negotiation process. Working together, we will have the benefit of scale, bringing the demand of almost 500 million citizens and the leverage of the EU budget. Doing this together will be faster, easier, and cheaper for us all. To prepare this, we have been discussing with the vaccine producers and member states for some weeks now, and have today put on the table a framework for the joint action at EU level in order to obtain a political mandate from the ministers. Part of our proposal is to agree advance purchase agreements with vaccine producers, giving the member states the right to buy a given number of vaccine doses for a certain price as and when the vaccine becomes available. To fund this upfront, we will use the emergency support instrument. With our strategy, we will issue an open call to all vaccine developers that have a manufacturing capacity in Europe and have entered clinical trials this year to enter into talks with us. Working closely with member states and on the basis of clear criteria, we will select which companies to enter into negotiations with. I have been very clear in my message to ministers today. Working together will increase our chances to secure a safe and effective vaccine at the scale we need and as early as possible. I am pleased that from today's Council, we received a clear political mandate to proceed with our strategy to get to a safe and effective vaccine for all Europeans and to find a permanent solution to the COVID-19 crisis. This initiative will be closely coordinated with the massive efforts we are making for the global access to a vaccine, where, as you know, we have already managed to secure 9.3 billion euro and is continuing through the 27th of June with an event that will be hosted by global citizens. I want to thank you once again for your attention, and in ending, thank the Croatian presidency for their leadership and wish the German presidency every success in their forthcoming presidency. Thank you.